Welcome to the UFO Disclosure Symposium review. We're getting ready here to present all of the keynote speakers and everyone that's presenting at the convention. I've got with me today Paul Hynek. Paul, welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you and to talk about what you're bringing to the symposium, what you're excited about, and all of the research that you've done. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be bringing to the symposium this year.
Sure. Nice to see you again, Carl.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about the symposium. And, I don't know life without UFOs from every point of view. We had flying saucer ornaments on our Christmas tree. And
Right.
it's part of the fabric of my life. And I've been at times active and less actively involved. And I'm very much engaged in the phenomena right now. One of the things that I want to bring to the symposium is called a framework that I'm developing now, a protocol, as it were, for experiencers, not just with aliens, but in all kinds of different avenues, whether it's plant medicine or lucid dreams or ghosts, for people who feel that they have repeated multiple encounters with entities, to try to create a science-friendly protocol to demonstrate to a mainstream scientific world that these experiences, which many of us feel are not only real but hyper real, are actually real in an objective sense. It's a tall order, I know, Carl, because
Yeah.
the needle of mainstream science does not easily move. But I know a lot of mainstream scientists, and I think if we come at it like my father did, who applied a scientific classification method to UFO reports, I think we can bring scientists along kicking and screaming if we sort of work up a bespoke, curated protocol for those who are willing to engage in conversations with these intelligences in a specific way.
Beautifully put. And those are some big shoes to fill because a lot of people may not realize that your father was actually J. Allen Hynek from Project Blue Book. And so you've been involved, like you said, with it growing up in your life. And you said all since your childhood around Christmas with it on the Christmas tree with ornaments that looked like UFOs and everything. So this is something that's been a part of your entire upbringing. And is this something that you've noticed then? Like there just isn't really an adequate way to approach the topic or to appropriately make contact with the subject, so to speak?
Yeah, in my father's day, they were flying saucers. They weren't even UFOs, and they certainly weren't UAPs. And there was a lot of stigma associated with it. Serious people, didn't pay it any attention. And he was able to push the boundaries of mainstream science out far enough to make the tent big enough for a serious discussion about the topic. What I see now is that there is, like in Western society, in Western medicine, if you've got some ailment in your body, the Western approach is to localize it. You've got a bad shoulder, take some pills, address that local part. In Eastern medicine, it's much more about the holistic organism and removing blockages so that you can heal yourself. I think we may tend to do that same type of naming and siloification in these sort of alternative experiences. This person's having a DMT experience. Well, the entities that they feel they may encounter are completely different than aliens that one may see in an abduction experience or in lucid dreams. I don't know that they are different. There may be some commonality between them. There may be a shared consciousness field. So what I want to do is now, we have thousands of reports of different types of encounters with what you may feel are super intelligences. But the information we get back is either things like, Earthlings, be careful, you're going to destroy the Earth. It could be personal messages about somebody in your family, etc. All valuable, all insightful, but not the kind of messages that science can do much with.
Right.
So I'd like to sort of, standing on my father's shoulders, apply a scientific classification to the communications inside the reports and see if we can't make some kind of structure that might help the folks that are doing these experiences who are interested. A lot of people who have experiences like this don't care if science believes them or not, but for those who do, to give them a toolkit and a way to approach it such that they can create, if they want, a more bespoke, science-friendly communication.
That makes a lot of sense. You know, the Navy and the Pentagon has come out and they've acknowledged that some of these UFOs and UAPs, like the Tic Tac and everything with the Nimitz incident, that those were valid incidents. And we've got at the symposium 4 more pieces of footage coming out. What is it about all of that that intrigues you the most coming up with the symposium?
Well, it's the whole package. You know, you can look at a video and dissect it and interpret it any way that you want. But this sort of chapter of the Navy experiences, you've got not only the videos, you've got high power binocular eyewitnesses, you've got radar corroboration. And I know Kevin Day, who was the radar operator on the USS Princeton, highly credible witness. You've got the Navy making public statements that says, yes, the videos are genuine. We see hundreds of these between 2014 and 2015, almost daily sightings in the air, in the water, to the extent that the United States Navy said, we're afraid for the safety of our aviators. That's a remarkably different public posture than that of the Air Force in my father's day, which was basically nothing to see here, folks. We got this, go home.
Right. It seems like they either don't want anybody to look at the issue or they want to deal with it all from a military perspective. And what you're trying to do is take all of the facts and look outside the box for a method to make contact, so to speak, in a way that's not militaristic, but something that's digestible for everybody to approach the subject, because it does seem to manifest in a multitude of different ways that are more complex than maybe what we're being told.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, I'm trying to engage scientists because no matter how many reports we have, they're mostly their eyewitness accounts.
Mm.
And that's just not the language of science. So when I have debates recently with Michael Shermer and others, I talk about the weight of the data, the accumulated weight of thousands of cases that have been investigated and remain unexplained. Or the Navy saying, yes, we see these, or the Pentagon saying, we have concerns about national security. That's kind of a higher level of abstraction than this or that case. And when I talk about it in those terms with scientists, then they'll typically say, okay, yes, you know, I don't know if aliens are visiting Earth or not. I just haven't seen enough evidence to convince me yet. So that's why I want to take that next step hand in hand with the scientists in consultation with them to say, what kind of communications would be intriguing to you? What kind of unanswerable questions, like factoring a prime number, would coming back from one of these conversations be of interest to you? And then gradually walk them up the ramp, not of belief, but of acceptance of the phenomena and the potential legitimacy of individual occurrences.
It's absolutely fascinating. I think it's much needed, and it's at that point now to where we're beyond just looking in the skies for spaceships from another planet. It's time to now understand, like, how are we going to communicate with this or deal with it if communication occurs, and how are we going to interpret all that, and how does it apply to us? I think it's absolutely valuable to have your opinion and your voice coming to the symposium. We have a whole bunch of other highly credible people from Avi Loeb, Jim Segala, Travis Taylor, everybody coming. It's going to be really exciting to see there. What would you say you're the most interested in coming to the convention, Paul?
Blind Frog Ranch. I'm a blind frogger now.
Are you? Me too. That's awesome. So maybe we'll have to make a little tour up to Blindfrogranch and check that out together when
Yeah,
we
you
get the
already
chance.
promised to make me your +1, Carl, so I'm looking
I
forward to
know.
that.
Yeah, we just talked off camera. We're going to go up there and do some really cool research. So I'm excited, Paul, to come up there to the Uintah Basin and meet you at the UFO Disclosure Symposium, and we'll see you there, man.
Cool. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.